السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد الأمين وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد بعد أن أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. صدق الله العظيم. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, we have gathered tonight to go over the fiqh of fasting. As the month of Ramadan is a few days away, inshaAllah, this will be a Ramadan we will never forget in our lives. Throughout the world, the masajid are closed. The governor of Illinois has extended the period of stay-at-home orders till the end of April, as we are all aware. And Ramadan is beginning, inshaAllah. Most likely, the first Taraweeh will be on April 23rd, Thursday, and the first day of fasting, based on the predictions of the moon sighting, is the first day would be Friday, April 24th. Friday, April 24th. And Ramadan, traditionally, of course, has been the month wherein we all frequent the masjid, and instead of having 2 saf for the salah, we end up having 30 saf in the masajid. The attendance goes up from 10% of the masjid being full to 110%. The Taraweeh, subhanAllah, brings all the people together to listen to the entire Quran, and the iftar in the masajid. All of these things, these blessings that we took for granted, we are really going to be missing out this Ramadan. Perhaps we will have more value for these blessings in the coming years if Allah Ta'ala gives us life and health and tawfiq. And we need to all repent to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, seek His forgiveness. Due to our sins, perhaps this calamity has fallen upon us. So we need to all repent to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and cry in front of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala in the privacy of our own homes. There is no one that we are showing off to. We are not publicly worshipping Allah anymore. We are all doing it privately in our own homes. So this is an opportunity to work on developing our ikhlas, our sincerity for Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Now, as far as the fiqh of fasting is concerned, there are many, many issues. This PowerPoint that I'm sharing, you can see on your screens. I would recommend everyone to pay attention, those who are listening. The nature of this program is different from the other programs throughout the week. There is Mufti Azimuddin's tafsir. There's Maulana Ahsan's story of the Quran, Maulana Muhyi's, mashallah, lessons of tazkiyah, Maulana Yusuf Ghoth, and the benefits of salawat. While we should pay attention to all of them, I'm not by any means saying they are less important. They are greater in importance perhaps. But they are lighter subjects that while walking, while engaged in something else, we might be able to listen along and follow what's going on. But when it comes to fiqh, it's a very technical subject. It requires attention and focus from the beginning till the end. We can't be coming in and out, listening in for a bit and then tuning out and zoning out and then coming back in after a while. Then we will lose the train of thought that is required for us to be able to understand the material fully. So that is why, at least on these, when we have the fiqh of fasting on Wednesdays, let us try to pay attention fully so we do not get the wrong message or we do not become confused, inshaAllah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in the Quran, الَّذِينَ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقَوْلَ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ أَحْسَنَهُ أولئك الذين هداهم الله وأولئك هم أولو الألباب. Those who listen attentively to the talks of Deen, those who listen attentively, يستمعون القول, and then they follow the beautiful advices that are given, they are those who are guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are the intelligent ones. Ulul albab. So if you want to be guided by Allah, if you want to be termed as the intelligent ones by Allah, then you need to listen attentively, inshallah. Just to review from last week, let me go back. I'm not going to go through everything again, but just to refresh our memory, we talked about the definition of fasting, what it means literally, what it means in Islam, and the ma'na lughawi, the literal meaning in the Arabic language, and al-ma'na al-istilahi, the terminological meaning in the Sharia. And we talked in great length about intention and the niyyah, how important it is for the fasting to be valid, and from what time you can make the niyyah, and until what time can one make the niyyah. And then we talked about Dahwatul Kubra. When is that actually? What point of the day is called Dahwatul Kubra? And we had this question and answer, and this is how far we had reached. Okay, today also I wanted to introduce to the listeners that during the course of the talk, if there are any questions relating to the subject matter, right? Relating to the subject matter, that's key. Relating to the fiqh of fasting. If you have any follow-up questions, you can text it to the Masjid address. Masjid phone number 630-360-2373. 630-360-2373. Again, last time, 630-360-2373. And if you missed the number, then you can always go to our website, and under contact information, the number will be there. So you can text the question. I'll be taking breaks from the slides and checking the app with the questions to see what the questions are, and I will try to get to them and answer the questions. Please note that this is not an open Q&A session. That's what we have on Sunday nights. So let us keep the questions related to the topic. The only reason we are opening this is because the nature of fiqh is such that it's something that we have to comprehend, something we have to understand. It's not something that is just to inspire us or encourage us or to remind us of the hereafter, but rather something we need to learn. So while we're learning, we might have different questions that come in our mind, and they need to be answered and addressed. Otherwise, we will be left wondering what the answer is, and that is not appropriate. We need to cater for those questions. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "As-su'alu nisful ilm." The half of knowledge is to ask. So if you have, or this may be a saying. Let me check that up, if it is a saying or a hadith. But it is a reality, nevertheless, that half of knowledge is to ask, and the other half is the answer that is given. So, as-su'alu nisful ilm, asking is half of knowledge. So let us ask questions pertaining to the topic, and if we have the genuine question. If there is no question and everything makes sense, then obviously you don't have to feel bad that you have nothing to ask. It's only if there is a need. Okay, now moving on. We're going to cover some recommended actions, mustahab actions when we fast, and some actions that are disliked and makruh while fasting. If we do the mustahab actions, what will it do? It will increase the thawab of our fast. Number 3. And our fasting will have more rewards, more virtues, inshallah. And if we do the makruh actions while fasting, then we will decrease the thawab such that the thawab can be completely lost, and we will not receive any benefit from the fasting. Na'udhu billah. It may just to clarify, things that are makruh are undesirable while fasting, disliked while fasting, but they do not invalidate the fast. Because if it breaks the fast, if it invalidates the fast, then it wouldn't be under makruh. It would be under number 5, right? Things that invalidate one's fast. So things that are mufsidatu sawm, things that invalidate the fast, have their own category, number 5. So these are things which are disliked. So they will decrease the thawab, but they don't break the fast. So the fast will still technically be valid. What that means is the obligation is lifted from the person, and it is not obligatory on the person to make qada. So there is no qada. If a person does something makruh in the fasting, he doesn't have to make it up. There's no make up fast. There's no qada. Whereas if someone does something that invalidates the fast, he may have to make qada and potentially kafara as well, when we'll get to it. So that is something to note. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has warned us, and he said, "Kam min sa'imin laysa lahu min siyamihi illa al-ju' wal 'atash." How many people there are who are fasting, and the only thing they get benefit out of the fast is that they remain hungry and thirsty. That is so sad. I mean, they do not get any rewards, any spiritual benefits. They do not develop taqwa. None of that. Because they are doing makruh things which are undesirable while fasting, and they are losing out on all of the thawab. وَكَم مِّن قَائِمٍ لَيْسَ لَهُ مِن قِيَامِهِ إِلَّا السَّهْرُ وَالتَّعَبُ. And how many people there are who are standing in ibadah at night, but they do not receive any thawab except for sahar wa ta'ab, staying awake at night and getting tired, exhaustion. They get exhausted, and that's all they get. Allahumma hafadna. May Allah Ta'ala protect us. So it is very important that we remember those things, note them down, what are makruh while fasting, so we abstain from them, and we do those actions which are mustahab, so we gain more reward and we protect our fast from losing out the thawab. So what are some recommended actions? Mustahab. To make intention at night, right? Because we covered this last week, that the intention can be made for the farad fast up to midday, dahwatul kubra, right? Dahwatul kubra. So it mentioned here the time for intention starts from maghrib of the night before. So if we make the intention in the night, this is mustahab, this is desirable. And you could technically make it up to Dahwat al-Kubra, up to midday. So 10 o'clock, if a person has no intention of fasting and finally makes it at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, then technically the fast is valid, but he has not done that which is mustahab and desirable, and he has done that which is undesirable. It's makruh. Second thing which is mustahab is to partake of the pre-dawn meal, suhoor. In Urdu it's called the sahri, in Arabic is suhoor, the pre-dawn meal, before Fajr time enters. So sometimes people ask, when does the suhoor time end? Do you have a separate column in the timetable? You technically don't need a separate column, end of suhoor time. The suhoor time ends right before the Fajr time starts. And just to be on the safe side, you can end up eating like 5 minutes before, so that you can brush your mouth and you can remove the excess food that is between the teeth, and any food that is caught up in the that's in the mouth can be expelled or swallowed, and a person is ready for the fast when the time starts. So partaking of the pre-dawn meal, suhoor, before Fajr time enters, eating the suhoor. Sometimes people, they just have a late dinner and they say, I'm not going to bother to get up. I'll get up before sunrise, hopefully, to pray Fajr. And if they're not even praying Fajr, then that's pretty sad. We should say that we should, inshallah, try to not only pray Fajr, but get up for suhoor, because eating suhoor is mustahab. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, تسحروا فإن في السحور بركة أو كما قال عليه السلام أو مثل هذا. That Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said more or less that eat suhoor, partake of the suhoor meal, because in suhoor there is barakah. There is barakah and blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, it is a bit hard. It's difficult to wake up early. It's difficult, it's challenging. You might not have an appetite at that time, but to eat something to fulfill this sunnah is going to be rewarding, inshallah. And then to break the fast immediately after sunset. This is an interesting one, because somebody might feel that I stayed hungry up till sunset for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this pleased Allah. Now if I remain hungry and thirsty for an additional half hour, for another hour, and I say, oh Allah, I'm doing this extra ibadah for your sake, He would probably get more happy. So that logic is faulty. It doesn't work that way. Because when you remain hungry for the sake of Allah, according to the order of Allah. And then when the order of Allah is to eat and the sunnah of Rasulullah is to eat, you actually eat that right then. And you enjoy the blessing of Allah and you thank Allah for it. Unnecessarily extending the fast and making it longer than it's supposed to be is not rewarding. You actually will lose out the thawab. Right? So basically, mustahab and makruh, they are opposites of one another. Doing that which is mustahab is rewarding, and leaving out what is mustahab is makruh, is undesirable. Doing that which is makruh is undesirable, and leaving it out, what is makruh, is mustahab, desirable. It is just like farad and haram. They're opposites of one another. So, like 5 times daily prayer is farad, and drinking wine is haram. Right? That's how you normally would present it and refer to it. You would say drinking wine is haram, and praying 5 times a day is farad. But you could say it the other way, and it wouldn't be incorrect. And when I say it would not be incorrect, the double negative means it would be correct. You could say that abstaining from wine is farad, and not praying 5 times daily salah is haram. And that's technically correct, because not praying 5 times daily salah is haram. Not doing any farad action is haram. And abstaining from every haram action is farad. So the same thing happens with mustahab and makruh. Abstaining from makruh is mustahab, and doing and abstaining from mustahab actions is makruh. So keep that in mind. So when we are saying these things, actions are mustahab, is desirable. If you don't do that which is desirable, it's makruh, is undesirable. Just like in the English language, desirable and undesirable, they're opposites of one another. That which is desirable, if you don't do it, is undesirable. That what is undesirable, if you abstain from it, then it's desirable. Simple as that. Okay, moving forward. To break the fast immediately after sunset. Another explanation of this the scholars give is that if a person is really busy, he's engaged at work, for example, with the customers, or a doctor is busy with his patients, and sunset occurs. Maybe a surgeon is busy in his operation, and if he continues to not eat or drink after sunset, 10 minutes pass, 20 minutes pass, half an hour passes, then it just gives the impression that the fact he wasn't eating or drinking earlier and throughout the day was because he's not hungry. It's adatan, it's not ibadatan. It's out of habit, not out of ibadah. Because he's busy, that's why he's not eating. When he gets home and he has time, he'll eat. But that is not the case. The reason he was not eating is not because he didn't have time, it's because he was an order of Allah Ta'ala. So, this is called idharu kamalil ubudiyah, the manifestation of perfection of being a slave of Allah Ta'ala, absolute slave of Allah. That when the sun sets, even though a person may be busy and engaged in some action, he immediately stops and pauses, takes a sip of water, takes a date, and continues his action. He doesn't have to have a whole meal. He just has to break his fast. And then when he does that, he's proving to Allah through his action that, Ya Allah, I was remaining hungry not because I didn't have time, but because it was your order. And as soon as you have granted permission to break the fast, I'm availing of that permission and I'm breaking my fast. So that is something really beautiful. That you show to Allah Ta'ala that I am breaking my fast right when the time of iftar enters. Abu Darda radiallahu anhu, he narrates from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that three things are from the characteristics of prophethood: to hasten to open the fast. All right. At first glance, it's like, why you have to eat so fast? But it's actually to show Allah Ta'ala that you are taking avail of the blessings He has given, the permission He has granted. To delay suhoor, right, again, to delay suhoor right before the subh sadiq, dawn. And to place the right hand over the left hand in salah. So these are three sunnahs. One thing I would like to mention is that the second bullet point on top mentioned to partake of the pre-dawn meal suhoor before Fajr time enters. And when it comes to Fajr time, there are two different timetables floating around, and there is a lot of confusion regarding this matter. I don't want to go in too much detail, but I want to just highlight this because we're talking about Fajr time. And if I don't mention this, then it would be a disservice to our beloved audience. That what is the Fajr time and when does the Fajr time enter? So the definition of Fajr time is the dawn, which is known in Arabic as Subh Sadiq, the true dawn. And why is it known as true dawn? Is there a false dawn? Yes, there is a false dawn, which is known as As-Subh al-Kadhib. And what's false about the false dawn and what's true about the true dawn? Why do they have this name Sadiq and Kadhib, the true one, the false one? The reason is we are totally out of touch with nature and the night sky and the day sky and sunset and sunrises. We really don't spend time outside looking at the sky. We are busy with our gadgets and our material life. But in the past, in the time of Rasulullah ﷺ in particular, and the Arabs, they were very much attached with the sky, in the night sky. And Allah Ta'ala speaks about that in the Quran, وَعَلَامَاتٍ وَبِالنَّجْمِ هُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ, that they use the constellations in the sky to guide them when they travel through the deserts. There were no signs, there was no GPS to guide them. They would be guided through the stars. In any case, when you look at the east in the nighttime, it's absolutely dark. The sun is below the horizon, right? So imagine it's 25 degrees below the horizon. Then as the earth is rotating, it becomes 24 degrees below the horizon, 22 degrees below the horizon, 20 degrees below the horizon. It's completely dark. Then what happens is that there is a white light, a vertical white light that appears. It's vertical, it's not horizontal. And it seems like, wow, the morning has approached. It's dawn, it's the time of dawn, it is the break of dawn. So you would get happy and say that, okay, dawn has arrived. And then what would happen after some time would pass, that light would go away, would disappear, and it would become dark once again. So that initial light that is vertical is called the false dawn, the fake one. It is not real. It is as-subh al-kadhib. And then after it's dark, some more time would pass, the sun would reach 18 degrees below the horizon. And that is the key term to know, key number to remember. 18 degrees. When the sun is 18 degrees below the horizon, then the whiteness would appear on the horizon. And this whiteness would be spreading horizontally from north to south on the eastern side. When you're looking at the east, the sun rises in the east. I'm sure, hopefully everyone knows that. The sun rises in the east, sets in the west, right? Mashriq and Maghrib. So when you're looking at the east, from the northeast to the southeast, there will be this whiteness across the whole horizon spreading. And as the sun is coming closer to the horizon, 17 degrees, 16 degrees, right? It's more whiteness is spreading and covering the horizon. Then when it hits 15 degrees, then the redness starts appearing. Redness. The whiteness in Arabic is known as ash-shafaq al-abyad, the white horizon. And then the redness is known as ash-shafaq al-ahmar, the red horizon. So the redness appears at 15 degrees. And then when the sun comes to 14, 13, 12 degrees, the redness increases more and more. until the redness fills the horizon in orange, in yellow, and then when the sun is at 3 degrees below the horizon, it's almost about to rise. It's a lot of light, 2 degrees, 1 degree, then it's right on the horizon, 0, then it's above the horizon. As soon as the sun is above the horizon, now it is sunrise. The time for Fajr has ended. The question is, when does the Fajr time start? The Fajr time starts when the whiteness appears. And the whiteness appears when the sun is 18 degrees below the horizon. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in the Quran, فَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا, you can continue to eat and drink حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ, until the whiteness of the horizon comes and is separated from the blackness of the night, and then you must stop eating. ثُمَّ أَتِمُّ الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ, then continue to fast until the sun sets and night begins. So the Quran does not say khaytul ahmar min al khaytul abyad, the redness, but rather it says khaytul abyad, when the whiteness appears. And the whiteness appears at 18 degrees. So and I just thought about it. Maybe I wanted to show the listeners, since they can see my computer screen, I will go on to one website, because this is a really highly controversial matter. A lot of people are confused regarding this. And there is a scientific agency known as the U.S. Naval Observatory. The U.S. Naval Observatory is the oldest scientific agency in America, and it is the official timekeeper of the United States government and the Pentagon. The website is not opening up right now. One second. So anyway, the U.S. Naval Observatory, it calculates the sunrise, sunset, moonrise, moonset times. Maybe I will have it ready next week, inshallah, and show it to you guys. It's not working right now, so we can hold on to that. For some reason, the website is not opening, but I can share with you. So basically, this is a scientific matter, because what happens is, from the fiqh perspective, we know that when the whiteness appears, Fajr time starts, and we have to stop eating. Now the question is, we have to ask the astronomers, we have to ask the scientists, when does the whiteness appear? This is not something for the fuqaha and the muftis and the scholars of fiqh to tell us. This is something the astronomers can tell us. So the astronomers tell us. That's why we're going to the U.S. Naval Observatory website, or we were trying to, but it's not working. But the U.S. Naval Observatory, they have their offices in Washington, D.C., and the official residence of the Vice President of the United States of America is on their grounds, actually. They clearly define that dawn occurs when the sun is 18 degrees below the horizon. So I think I have it here. One second. Inshallah. I don't want to waste further time. Inshallah, I'll look it up and share it with you next time. So yeah, they clearly define that the dawn is when the sun is 18 degrees below the horizon, not 15 degrees. And that's when the whiteness appears. And then they say when it's 15 degrees, the redness appears. So that is why it's pretty clear from the fiqh perspective and from the science perspective, from both perspectives, that we need to stop eating at 18 degrees below the horizon. And Unfortunately, um, back in the 60s, the Muslim Student Association of America was formed, the MSA. That was the first Muslim organization. And after the MSA was formed, and then later on, it turned into ISNA because they weren't students anymore. The founders, they entered the workforce. They became professionals. They did not want to continue calling themselves students and Muslim Student Association. So then they formed the Islamic Society of North America. And at that time, there was this book published of timetables for all the different cities of America, prayer timetables. We had this in our old library too, from the 80s, this book, or in late 70s. And basically, it was a book. You would open it, on each page would be a different city, and it would have the timetable for the 12 months of the year. So the author of that book, just completely randomly, from his own side, he calculated the Fajr to be at 15 degrees, with no substantiation, no precedence, no dalil. He came up with Fajr being 15 degrees. And then that became the official ISNA timetable. So now, if you go to IslamicFinder.com, or you go to any of the apps that you have on your phones and your smartphones, and you have a timetable, this is a great tragedy. What happens is that if you enter your time zone as a U.S. time zone, by default, they will select the ISNA timetable, and it will show Fajr as 15 degrees. All the timetables across the world, there are different standards. There's the al-Qura calendar from al-Qura calculation method from Makkah. There's the Egyptian calculation method from Azhar. There is the Jamiatul Ulum al-Islamiyya, University of Islamic Sciences calculation model from Binori town, Karachi. All of them have 18 or more degrees for Fajr. But only ISNA has the 15-degree one. And then the ISNA follows the Fiqh Council of North America. And the Fiqh Council of North America, Dr. Zulfiqar Ali Shah himself, he retracted from this position of 15 degrees, and he went to 17.5 to be precise. He didn't say 18 for some reason. He went to 17.5. So even the ISNA position has changed. They realized their mistake, and it's 17.5. However, all of the apps and all of these timetables, by default, they will go with the North American setting for ISNA, Islamic Society of North America, and they'll calculate your Fajr as 15 degrees. Now, 11 months of the year, it's not a big deal because people aren't performing Fajr as soon as the time enters. They are performing Fajr half an hour before sunrise, hopefully, or 40 minutes before sunrise, or at home maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes even before sunrise. So they're within the time. The problem is, in Ramadan, when do you stop eating? Do you stop eating when the sun is 18 degrees below the horizon? Or do you stop eating when the sun is 15 degrees? It could be 15, 20-minute difference. So this is a big problem. So many of the masajid, they unfortunately aren't aware of the situation. And the timetable that they print out in Ramadan, it shows the Fajr as 15 degrees, and it's later. So people continue to eat the suhoor after dawn. This is really a big problem, and we need to create awareness regarding this. If you have an app at home, then go into the settings. Many of the apps have the settings. You can select one of the calculation models, or you can go into manual settings. Just go into manual. And when you go into manual settings for Fajr, select 18 degrees. You will have an option how many degrees you want to select. 15, 15.5, 16, 16.5, 17, 17.5, 18. So go with 18. Then for Dhuhr, they have an option. You want to do +1, +2. You can do +2, meaning after the Istiwa of Shams, when the sun is above on the top of the sky, and midday. After that, you want to add 2 minutes for your Dhuhr time. And for Asr, you have two options. You can do the Hanafi Asr or the Shafi Asr. Both are fine. Both are respectable opinions. The Shafi Asr is when the shade of an object becomes 1 time its length. And the Hanafi Asr is later. It's when the shade of an object becomes twice its length. Both are proven from hadith. Then for Maghrib, you can do +2, because you want to make sure the entire sun, the disk of the whole sun, is under the horizon, not halfway under the horizon, but rather the whole sun is under the horizon. So you should do +2 or +3 for Maghrib. And then for Isha, you have an option. The same thing we spoke about in the Fajr time, it happens at Isha time. The sun sets on the horizon and it's completely ablaze with light, red, orange light. And then when the sun continues to go further down, 5 degrees, 10 degrees, 12 degrees, when it hits 15 degrees below the horizon, all the redness disappears. But there's still whiteness. Then it's 16, 17, 18. At 18 degrees, the whiteness disappears. So at 15, the redness disappears. At 18, the whiteness disappears. So, what time does Isha start? So there are two opinions regarding this matter. One opinion of Imam Shafi'i, Malik, and Ahmad, and opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa as one of his opinions as well, is that you can pray Isha after the redness disappears at 15 degrees. And the second opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa is you should wait and pray Isha after the whiteness disappears at 18 degrees. Both are opinions. So when it comes to Isha, you don't have to wait till 18 degrees. There is a fatwa on 15 degrees as well. There is a difference of opinion here. And you can safely pray Isha, particularly in the summer months when it gets really late, after 15 degrees, when the redness disappears, even though there's whiteness on the horizon. You don't have to wait till the whiteness disappears, because there's a difference of opinion. And where there is a difference of opinion, we will mention it, and we can take what is easier for the ummah within the confines of, within the hudud and limits of acceptable opinions, if the fuqaha have given fatwa on it. But when it comes to the morning, there's no opinion that you can continue eating after the whiteness has appeared up to when the redness appears. There's no such opinion in any school of thought. So please note that down and be aware of that. May Allah Ta'ala accept everyone's fast and allow us to stop eating at the right time. So these are the mustahab actions. Let us finish the mustahab actions. To break one's fast with dry or fresh dates if available. If dates are not available, then with water. So, dry dates are known as tamar in the Arabic language, and fresh dates are known as rutab. Anas radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would break his fast with rutab, fresh dates, before performing salah. If there were no fresh dates, no rutab, then he would break the fast with dried dates, tamar. And if there were no dried dates, then he would take a few sips of water. So sometimes people think that, this is a cultural thing, this is a customary thing to get dates in Ramadan, and to use dates because it's part of our culture or traditional cuisine type of thing. No, that should not be our intention. If we eat dates because we think it's a cultural thing to do and a family tradition, then we will not get any thawab for it. We will not get any reward. You should make the intention that this is a sunnah of Rasulullah ﷺ. That's why I'm eating dates. Not just because it has, fructose in it and it has a burst of energy and it has fiber and all the other health benefits. Those benefits will always be there, but we will lose the thawab. So to gain the thawab, we have to make the intention that this is sunnah of Rasulullah ﷺ. Okay. So let me take a moment before I start the makruh actions to look at the questions here. Okay, yes, this is a question. So why do lots of other masajid follow 15 degrees? Is the fast of the individual invalidated if they follow 15 degrees? If their masjid is using that time? So the reason, I gave the reason why people follow 15 degrees is because that used to be the original Islam position. And Islam was the only Islamic body back in the 80s. And this timetable book that was printed, the brother who did that service, he made a mistake, and he published it with 15 degrees, and then that just became the standard Islam timetable. And no one took the time to research it. If this is the first time you're hearing this detail, then you're amongst the few who understand this and learned about this. Majority of the masajid, are not run by scholars and ulama. They're run by boards of volunteers who may be donors, and maybe they are in position of power in the masajid, and they make the decision, and they do not necessarily have knowledge regarding these matters. Not even all the scholars have detailed information regarding this. So whatever was the mistake, that's the mistake that's carrying on. Even the people who are making the apps for the prayer times, they just go with the default 15 degrees. It's only when you go into the settings you can change it to 18. And Dr. Zulfiqar Ali Shah, who is from the Fiqh Council, the chairman of the Fiqh Council of North America, he himself has, as I said that 15 degrees is wrong. It's 17.5, he said. So we are safer with 18. That's what the U.S. Naval Observatory has as the definition of dawn is at 18 degrees. They say at 18 the whiteness appears. So that's what can I say? And we ask Allah Ta'ala for help and guidance. Why do lots of other masajid follow 15 degrees? Simply because they're not evil people. They're not bad people. I'm not attacking anyone's intentions. I'm not trying to bring anyone down. May Allah Ta'ala accept all their efforts. But it's just, at the end of the day, lack of knowledge. They just don't know. Is the fast of the individual invalidated if they follow 15 degrees, if their masjid is using that time? See, the thing is, I'm not here to limit the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah ta'ala potentially could forgive people. But now that you know, it's your responsibility to follow the correct timetable and ensure your fasts are valid. And those that are making a mistake, Allah Ta'ala knows best. Alright? When Musa alayhi salam came to Fir'aun and invited him towards Allah and Tawheed, and he conducted the miracles, then one of the questions, the political questions of Fir'aun that he asked Musa alayhi salam to take him off track, is that he asked Musa alayhi salam in Surah Taha, فَمَا بَالُ الْقُرُونِ الْأُولَى قَالَ فَمَا بَالُ الْقُرُونِ الْأُولَى. You're inviting towards Tawheed in one Allah. What about all the people of the past and all our parents and grandparents who worshipped Fir'aun? Where are they going to go? Are they going to go to hell or heaven? Are they going to go to Jahannam because they didn't follow one Allah as you are claiming? So what did Musa alayhi salam say? He didn't say, Fir'aun was setting him up so that he would say, yeah, they all go to Jahannam. And then the people who are in the court of Fir'aun and all the nobles that are there, they would turn against Musa alayhi salam. How dare you say my father and my mother, my grandfather, mother, grandmother, my elders are going to Jahannam? How dare you say that about my parents? And they would start hating him and his message. So Musa alayhi salam Fir'aun was smart, but Musa alayhi salam was obviously a prophet of Allah, Kalimullah, was smarter than Fir'aun. So he didn't say they go to Jahannam, even though they might have died on shirk. قال علمها عند ربي في كتاب. He said the knowledge pertaining to those people of the past, it lies with Allah Ta'ala in His book. Allah Ta'ala knows best. لا يضل ربي ولا ينسى. He is the one who never forgets. He does not go astray. He does not make a mistake. He knows the final outcome of those people of the past. I'm not going to comment about them. This is what Musa alayhi salam said. So I follow Musa alayhi salam in this matter. Allah knows best. People are unaware. Allah Ta'ala could forgive them because they don't know. But now that you know, you should, inshallah, stop at the correct time and inform others as well. So that is one question. Let's see if there's another question. Somebody is saying, is there a difference of opinion about 15 degrees or 18 degree Fajr? I believe some Mufti, he takes another Mufti's name, holds the opinion of 15 degrees. So yes, there is a difference of opinion of 15 and 18 degrees for Isha. So you perform Isha here at Dar es Salaam after 15 degrees. We don't wait for 18 degrees. Some masajid, they wait till 18 degrees. So after 15 degrees, you can pray Isha. But in Fajr, for those who have knowledge of what's going on, there's no difference of opinion for Fajr. Another question is, I think I already answered this. If we go by 18 degrees for Fajr, can we go by 15 degrees for Isha, or do they need to be the same? They don't need to be the same. You can go 18 degrees for Fajr and 15 for Isha. Another question is, Assalamu alaikum, what is the ruling regarding brushing the teeth during the fast, both with miswak and with toothbrush, toothpaste? Yeah, so this is still coming. This is still coming in the PowerPoint, in the slides, about brushing the teeth. Miswak is definitely permissible. Toothbrush and toothpaste, toothbrush without toothpaste is definitely permissible. With toothpaste is makruh. If you don't swallow the toothpaste, it's makruh. And if you swallow the toothpaste, unfortunately, that will break the fast. Okay, another question is, can you please share the link where Dr. Zulfiqar Ali Shah retracted his opinion and recommended 17.5 degrees now, or anywhere in the ISNA site does it mention 17.5 degrees? This is a really good question. Um, that this should have been on their website. They should have publicly gone with it. And why they're not doing it, Allah knows best. This is an email that I have from Dr. Zulfiqar Ali Shah to one of the scientists and scholars of the Arab world from the Islamic Crescent Observation Project, Dr. Ode. He has an email that he published on his website. I can pull that up, where Dr. Zulfiqar Ali Shah writes to him in his email that this 15 degrees is incorrect. It should be 17.5. So that is an email from Dr. Zulfiqar Ali Shah. But it's not on their website. You are correct. It's not on the website. I looked for it on the website. I couldn't find it unless they put it up afterwards. But as far as I know, I could not find it on their website. Okay. Also, some people say that degrees are based on where you live. So if Pakistan or India has 18 degrees for Fajr, then might not be true in the US. Is it true? Yeah. So it depends on the latitude. That's correct. But within the latitude of the United States, 18 degrees is correct because that is the definition given for the break of dawn from the U.S. Naval Observatory. They're not giving the information for Pakistan. They're giving the information for the United States. Question regarding fasting. Is it necessary to recite the dua while breaking the fast? No, it is not necessary. It's a sunnah. أفطر عندكم that to recite, what is it? ذهب الظمأ وابتلت العروق وثبت الأجر إن شاء الله. Or the other dua is اللهم لك صمت وبك آمنت وعليك توكلت وعلى رزقك أفطرت. That beautiful dua that we recite every Ramadan. That dua is masnoon, it's a sunnah. It's not necessary to make that dua while breaking the fast. What are the suggested apps? I mean, there's another question. So I don't have any particular app that I can recommend. Like I don't have any. Let me see. I have one app on my phone, but it's not necessarily the best app. I haven't done like research on this, and I can recommend that this is the better one. I have not done a comparison study or anything, and so I'm not like giving an official review. But the one I use is called Masjid -Now Light. I don't know why it's light. It's not heavy. It's light. LITE. Masjid-Now NOW Light LITE. But this is an old app. It was a long time ago. This came out in the beginning, and there weren't many apps back then. And then I downloaded it, and I'm just sticking with it. It has an option under the calculation method to select 18 degrees. There may be better apps out there. I'm not qualified to comment on which is the best one. Could you recommend a website or app for Fajr time? Another question. Yeah. So I just mentioned the app. Website, you can go to, I'm sure it's around. I haven't been using it for a long time, but IslamicFinder.com should be around still. Islamic Finder. Islamic Finder, you put in your zip code, and then you can go to the calculation method and select 18 degrees. Another brother is saying, or family is saying, sister, I'm not sure who it is. We are in Michigan, which follows 18 degrees below the horizon rule. Okay, alhamdulillah. That's good. Another question is, sometimes we make iftar at a Turkish masjid. They're Hanafi, but they break fast 10 minutes after the sunset. What should we do in that situation? Oh, Allahu Akbar. 10 minutes is too much. You can make it 2 minutes after sunset, then you should break the fast. You can take a sip of water or a date discreetly, and then wait to eat when everyone else eats. You can just take a quick sip of water if you can, discreetly. You hide somewhere. Um, Take a sip of water from a water bottle, whatever, but then eat with everyone 10 minutes later. But you do not want to make your fast makruh by delaying it so long. I didn't know these questions were going to become so much, so popular. When I mentioned that we have questions, and so far they're all about fasting, so can't complain. If for the last 20 years we didn't use 18 degrees, are those fasts counted or do we make them up? That's a very good question. I would say that since a person did not know and was following, Allah Ta'ala can forgive the person, but moving forward, at least based on the correct knowledge, should avoid this. And definitely stop eating at 18 degrees. I have a question regarding tomorrow fast. Is it permissible in Sharia? I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to. Tomorrow's fast. Tomorrow, April 2nd. So if you can ask your question once again, what do you mean by tomorrow fast? Okay, subhanallah. Somebody posted a link. Very beautiful. Isna adopts new angles for Fajr and Isha. They found it. As I said, I put a disclaimer that I could not find it. But somebody found it and sent the link onto the masjid. Let me click on this link, see what it shows. International Astronomical Center. Somebody looked it up. This is not from the ISNA website. I correct myself. This is the same website that I had mentioned, I had found earlier. Let's see if the email is here. Yes. Okay. Below is an email we received from Dr. Zulfikar Ali Shah, Executive Director of the North American Fiqh Council of ISNA. It shows that starting from September 2011, this is dated 2011, ISNA has adopted new angles for Fajr and Isha, which are 17.5 for Fajr. Alhamdulillah, I was not incorrect. I remembered correctly. And 15 degrees for Isha. So this email, like emails are accepted in court of law as well, right? As evidence, because they initiate from the address of the email sender. So it's a subject is timings, date Sunday, 29th July 2012, from Dr. Zulfikar Ali Shah to Dr. Ode of the ICO project. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, akhi al-habib, means my beloved brother. Below is the agreed upon statement. Fiqh Council of North America position for Fajr and Isha. In the Fiqh Council of North America meeting of September 25th, 2011, the following position for Fajr and Isha was agreed upon. For North America, use functions of latitude and season for Fajr and Isha as determined by moonsighting.com. A computer user can go to the following website to obtain full year prayer times from moonsighting.com. For most areas in USA, this will result in Fajr around sun being 17.5 degrees below horizon and Isha around 15 degrees. The time difference between 17.5 degrees and 15 degrees is about 12 minutes. Fajr will be 12 minutes earlier than calculated for 15 degrees. This 12 minutes is based. It's not going to be set for 12-minute difference. It depends on the month of the year as well as the latitude. These two factors will make this time difference change. It is suggested that if one wants to calculate Fajr and Isha based on degrees, one can opt to use 17.5 degrees for Fajr and 15 degrees for Isha. So this is the email. Now, my IT help that was here, he just left. And he said, he texted me, I want to stop the live stream remotely. He's working from home like everyone else. So otherwise, I would have displayed this on the screen so everyone could see. This is the email. Maybe I can display it next week. I have a lot of promises for next week, so I can show this one. This is the letter I was talking about. Now, this should be on the ISNA website, right? I would assume they should have done that because all of the apps, everywhere, say 15 degrees, it's not time calculation. Like there's a name for the calculation model. There's Al-Qura model, Egyptian General Authority model, University of Islamic Sciences, Karachi model. These are the different names of the calculation methods. And the 15-degree method is titled, the name of that is called the ISNA way, the ISNA calculation method. And it's not the ISNA calculation method. ISNA has changed, when is this? September 25th, 2011, they changed to 17.5 degrees. So that's very unfortunate. Oh, okay. This is what the brother is talking about. Can fasting tomorrow? Dear Muslim brothers and sisters, this is a global day of fasting. Thursday, 2nd April. Yes, I did receive this, but I forgot about it in the dozens and dozens and like actually hundreds of WhatsApp messages we receive every day. So there's a global day of fasting. There's nothing wrong with this because it's Thursday, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to fast on Mondays and Thursdays. And if you all fast together and make dua to Allah Ta'ala that, oh Allah, protect us and uplift this calamity from us, protect us from the coronavirus and from the COVID-19 and all epidemics and sicknesses and problems. It's a beautiful idea to make dua to Allah Ta'ala and fast. So nothing wrong with it. Inshallah, we should all fast. Another question. Somebody else is sending me something, some other link. Scholarly consensus, Fajr begins at 18 degrees. Acts of worship. So people are doing their own research. You guys are, mashallah, great researchers. And, may Allah reward you for going online. See, everyone can do research nowadays. The question is that, there's so much stuff out there to figure out what's right and what's wrong. Now, somebody else has sent a link of something that shows that 18 degrees is correct. It has opinions of dozens of global scholars, etc. Okay, that's good. Yeah, somebody sent another flyer for the global day of fasting. So we are continuing on and on. It's 8:55 already. I think I will pause. Last time for the fiqh of fasting, I stopped at around 8:40, 40 minutes, and I said that it's very dense and technical material I'm covering. It will be hard for people to focus and remain listening and attentive for longer than 40 minutes. But today it turned into a Q&A session at the end, so maybe people are listening, but that's the last question I received. I'll stop here. And make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala accept our fast, make it easy for us this Ramadan. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. اللهم اجعل اجتماعنا هذا اجتماعا مرحوما واجعل تفرقنا بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تدع فينا ولا منا ولا معنا شقيا ولا محروما. O Allah, forgive our sins, Ya Rabbil Alameen. O Allah, guide us along the right path, Ya Rabbil Alameen. O Allah, accept our ibadat, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Grant us the correct knowledge, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Protect us from ignorance and misguidance, Ya Rabbil Alameen. O Allah, remove all the calamities from the Ummah, Ya Rabbil Alameen. O Allah, grant us afiyah and well-being, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Keep us in your protection, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Make this coming Ramadan the best Ramadan of our lives, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salamun ala al-mursaleen alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. There's one last announcement that alhamdulillah we are partnering with ICNA Relief here at Dar es Salaam for sending out boxes to the needy. And there are many people, many families that are in great need, and we need to support them in this time. There's a food box sponsorship that Dar es Salaam is doing, $50 a box, and alhamdulillah, so far 354 boxes have been donated. 146 boxes are left for a goal of 500 boxes. So please visit our website and please donate for this cause. Inshallah, we want to get 500 boxes from our Dar es Salaam community to the needy ones, and gain the thawab from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahu fi awni al-abdi ma kana al-abdu fi awni akhihi. Allah will continue to help his servant as long as he is helping his Muslim brother. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, أفضل صدقة أن تشبع كبدا جائعا. The best form of sadaqah is that you feed the hungry person. The best form of sadaqah is to feed the hungry person. So if you want to send the money by Zelle, it's at social services, one word, at masjidds.org. Social services at masjidds.org. Or you can donate online at masjidds.org /foodbox /foodbox. So social services at masjidds.org is a Zelle account, and donating online at masjidds.org /foodbox. Jazakumullahu Khairun.